So now we have another op-amp comparator circuit here. We're just going to look at the physical circuit. If I get the overhead lamp dim enough, right there, now we have a high output. We actually have a low input, and we got a high output. So that is what makes it an inverting comparator. Comparator is doing the opposite of what the signal voltage is. Being given by the light dependent resistor voltage divider. That's because we set a reference voltage of half the supply voltage with a couple fixed resistors right there. But they're going to the plus, the non-inverting input. So output wants to be more like this voltage divider right there. Our signal that changes is with this light dependent resistor right there, voltage divider. It's going to the inverting input, which means that when you compare the two, the output's going to be less like the inverting input voltage divider there. And here is the schematic diagram I drew for the light dependent resistor controlled inverting comparator using an op-amp right here. So we got the LM358 op-amp. Again, we have a reference voltage, so that's going to the plus input. Our reference voltage is the plus, the non-inverting input. That makes this an inverting comparator because our signal, that's the inversion part, is going to the inverting input, the minus. Notice that the plus is below the minus on the physical component. Be careful when you're looking at schematics because I swapped them right there. But yeah, higher light level, we get a higher input. We'll cover that coming up. And some other shorts. And of course you got to power it. And high output red LED lights up. And then a low output, the blue LED lights up. As always, it doesn't do as good given the full 5 volts in this case right there. You lose a bit of positive voltage with the high output when you use this particular op-amp. So now of course you have to power everything. We're going to focus on powering the op-amp in this video. And so it's review for those that already know this and introductory for those that don't. So you don't always see the power pins on the schematic. Be aware of that. But you always have to power it, the integrated circuit. Pin 8 positive supply, pin 4 to the negative supply. So that also gets the power to the output right there and everything else that the op-amp does internally. And this is an inverting light level comparator right there. So we got a higher voltage at the non-inverting input. And so we had a low output. Now we have a lower voltage at the inverting input and we have a high output. So there you can see pin 8 right there, positive supply. And it works its way over to this other row, and then pin 4 to the negative supply, which works its way back over to this row. Our supplies are up there. So again, zooming back for those watching the shorts. This short is going to be focused on the reference voltage right there. So we will zoom in. And again, notice the pin layout on the schematic is opposite from the physical component. I mention this a lot because it's easy to miss. There we got the non-inverting input, our reference voltage. So the output's going to be the opposite of what we got here when it compares the two right there. And so we just use 2 equal value fixed resistors right there. 10K will work just fine. We get half the supply voltage, 2.5 volts, when you're working with 5 volts. And we will come over, and there you can see it's actually down lower right there. Pin number 3. 10K to the negative supply and 10K to the positive supply. So that sets half our voltage, which is compared with the voltage that we get over here. So now for this short, we're going to look at the signal, which is going to the inverting input because this is an op-amp wired as an inverting comparator. We got the reference voltage, just looked at that. Now we got the signal voltage. The op-amp compares the two. And the output wants to be more like the non-inverting input. So we got the inverting input. That's where our signal is, our changing voltage. We get, pretty bright light on there. We get above 0.25 volts because that's what we set. And the output goes low. So higher, low output. If we cover light dependent resistor, get it dark enough, then we have a low input right there. The output will be the opposite. Pretty straightforward right there. So there's our light dependent resistor. So you can see positive supply, low output. And then if I cover the light dependent resistor, now we got a lower voltage. You can see that we got a high output over there. So now, as usual with my circuits where we have a high and a low output that we can attain, which op-amps can do, I usually use LEDs to indicate what's going on. So we're going to look at that more closely. Again, red LED lights up when the output's high. As close to 5 volts, you lose a little bit of voltage there. But you can see that current path. Make sure you put the red LED in the light way. And then the blue LED, since we got positive over there, it will light up when the output goes to ground. And it does a pretty good job going to ground right there, blue LED. Again, make sure you put it in the right way. But yeah, we have that over there. You can see the blue LED positive there. So you know you got a ground connection right there. So low because we got more light on the light dependent resistor, and therefore the output was low. But now we got the light dependent resistor dark, we got a lower input, the output went high. So you can see your ground connection right there, so you know the output's high.